This video will show you how to set up your Schoology Gradebook. You need to be in one of your courses. On any page, in the left navigation bar, click on Gradebook Setup. Let's begin by creating categories. You must create at least one category. If you want everything all lumped together, that's fine. Just create one category named Assignments or Everything. I recommend fewer rather than more categories, as this will simplify your grade calculations. So based on my experience with other teachers, I recommend no more than 3 or 4 categories. This course already has one category listed here, Assignments. Let's add one more. Click on the Add button here. In the pop-up, we'll add a Quizzes category. I recommend that you choose total points versus percent. You can also choose to drop the lowest 1 or 2 or more quizzes or assignments, and then click the Create button here. If you want to weight your categories, click on this little box here to weight categories. Schoology automatically weights these two equally, but you can change the weight simply by typing right in here. Click and then type right in there. And you can see that this is now weighted this category twice as much as this one. If all your categories will carry the same weight, just don't check this weight category box at all. So I actually do not recommend weighting categories. If you weight categories, you may unintentionally skew grades, even if you give each category the same weight. Let's look at an example. So here's an example of 2 categories, assignments and quizzes, and they're each weighted 50%. So you would think that would equalize things. So this student has 10 assignments worth a total of 100 points and 1 project worth 100 points. So she has a total of 200 possible points and she scored 180 of those 200. That gives her 90% in the category of assignments. In the quiz category, she only had 1 quiz during this grading period, and she only scored 30 out of 50 points, which is a score of 60% for that quiz category. Because these are weighted, we need to take the total percent for each category and multiply it by the weight. So we'll convert this to decimal. So 90% is 0.9 times 0.5, which is the 50% here. And so in this category, she scores 0.45. In the quiz category, it's the 60% or 0.6 times 0.5, again, the 50% category there, and her total then is 0.3. So we add up these two, and her total grade is 75%. So you can see that that one quiz had a great impact on her overall score because it was the only item in the category. Let's look at the same scores with unweighted categories. The scores for each category are the same, but this time we simply divide the overall points earned by the total possible points. So in each category, the score is the same, but to get the total grade, we simply add up the total possible points, 200 in this category and 50 in this category, to be 250. The student scored 210, and so her overall grade is 84%. So if you choose to weight categories, just be thoughtful about how you do it. If you do weight categories, note that this right here, this column here will always add up to 100. So whatever you change these to, this shows you the relationship between the various categories. This will always add up to 100. Okay, in the same area, star one of the categories as your favorite. That category will automatically be selected when you create new content in your course. It will just save you one step. And you can always come back to this area at any time to change your favorite. All right, the grading period for your courses will not be this open. You'll have your fall and spring for the new year, and each one should be weighted to 100%. For the final grade settings, you're going to choose either the TK6 scale 1 to 4 or the A to F grade scale with no plus or minus. We choose a scale that matches your report cards. So for most TK to 6, the report card uses a scale of 1 to 4, so choose that scale here. For grade 7-8, choose the scale A to F with no plus or minus, since our report cards do not use plus or minus. And then check this here to round final period grades. In this lowest section here, check hide overall grade and student report. Schoology defaults to averaging grades from fall and spring semesters. Since we do not do that, checking this box will prevent that overall grade from showing on student grade reports. Do not check this box. We do want students to see their grading period grades, which are the grades for fall and spring semesters. I recommend that you not check these course override columns at the beginning of the semester, since that will add an extra column in your gradebook and just take up space. You can, if you want to do that, you can come back at the end of the semester and do that there. All right, let's move over to the scales and rubrics area. Choose numeric or the 1 to 4 scale as your favorite, either one of those, based on how you plan to grade. So if you plan to grade all your work with a scale of 1 to 4, choose that. If you plan to have assignments worth a varying number of points, choose the numeric scale. This will be the default for your assignments, but you can always change to a different scale or rubric within the assignment. Choosing a favorite simply saves one step when you create your assignments. So notice that you can choose numeric for your daily grades, but the A to F grade scale for your final grades. These don't have to match. So finally, at the bottom of the page, go ahead and save changes. Then scroll back to the top and notice that you can copy settings. So if you teach more than one course, once you set this up, you can click here and you can copy all of your scales and rubrics and categories over to your other courses.